At the beginning of the story, in a closed coffin, I was lying inside it. I opened my eyes and asked, where am I? I thought. I remember I was just playing a game. I finally beat the final boss after 2 days and 2 nights. I went blank for a while, and then this happened. It's getting hard to breathe. Banging on the coffin door, I thought, I have to find a way to get out of here. Then I noticed a girl lying beside me, and her hand on a place. She said, don't be so impatient, husband. Why is a good time always so short? Touching my face, she asked, did you just call me a thing? We were just wed. You're making me so sad. I asked, who are you? Where did you come from? She replied, how heartless of you. Do you not remember your own spouse? I thought, she's my spouse. Who even talks like this anymore? I told her, beauty, I'm so sorry. I don't have time to play with you right now. Can you please tell me how to get out of here? Looking at her face, I thought, this has to be a prank, but they must have spent a lot on it. I've never encountered a woman this pretty before. She came closer to me and said, if that is the case, as your spouse, I can only hope that she kissed me on the lips. I thought, asterisk, what's happening here? Her hair grew very long, and the whole place transformed. I thought, but why do I feel like all of this is so familiar? Suddenly, a knife was thrown, but a man deflected the blade and started protecting the coffin. It was Leisure, the eldest disciple from the Kongtong sect. He said, I have been ordered by the other sect leaders to open the coffin and check his corpse. Don't make me waste my breath. Chen Wujin has committed so many crimes that he deserved his death. Master Chen, in pain, said, do not cross the line. You all witnessed the day my son was slain. Master Chen shouted, do not disturb my son's peace. Otherwise, I will show you no mercy. With an evil expression, Lei Shi replied, both of your spiritual power levels are no different than that of a cripple. Do you think you're still the sect leader of Yi Lin sect? Attacking them, he shouted, know your place. Once I have crushed Chen Wujin's corpse, I will then deal with both of you. Before he could destroy the coffin, a bright light burst out of it, throwing him aside. They were all confused, saying, such powerful spiritual pressure. What's happening? Isn't he dead? I came out of the coffin, groaning in pain. I thought, I don't feel good. Kissing that woman felt like drinking 10 tons of cola. I covered my mouth, thinking something was coming out. Suddenly, someone called my name, Wujin. Then a lady hugged me, exclaiming, my son. My father said, how are you alive? And my mother asked, you didn't die? Let me have a good look at you. I shouted, don't come near me. I thought, I'm not dreaming. I'm not hallucinating either. This is the background of the game Cultivate and Dominate that I just finished. I've been reincarnated, and I'm Chen Wujin, a villain who was killed by the protagonist. I started crying, thinking to myself, if you want me to reincarnate, just let me do it properly. Why did you make me possess the body of a villain whom I spent 2 days and 2 nights trying to kill? I hated him the most out of all the characters. All of them. What kind of misery is this? A soldier said, eldest senior brother, something is not right with Chen Wujin. The other replied, that Chen Wujin must have cultivated some evil art. Leisure was about to attack me, saying, I will take his life now while he is still in confusion, but his attack failed because of a barrier. Using my powers, I said, are you blind? Don't you see that I'm in a crisis right now? Leisure thought, how is he able to write such a powerful spiritual rune? I further added, do you think I spent all that time doing nothing in-game? While attacking him, I was thinking, in this game, spiritual runes are the most productive when it comes to spiritual power. I pierced his stomach with my arrows and thought, with my soul and spiritual power combined, it'll allow me to break through my plight. Then his other junior disciples started charging at me. I told them, since I'm in this game now, and using my powers, I said, maybe I should teach you NPCs who can't read the atmosphere. Then some dark soldiers emerged from a magic circle. Their painful screams were heard soon after. Some people were cleaning the dead bodies. My mother said with Wujin slaying so many disciples from the other sects, they will no doubt come after us. My father told there is nothing we can do. We cannot simply let them do whatever they want with us. The reason Wujin did all that was to protect us. She was crying and saying, right. To me, Wujin being alive is already the best thing that could have happened, but husband, do you not feel that Wujin is somewhat different after awakening? I was lying down thinking I am no different than before. The Chen Wujin from the previous life was just a shut-in. He died before he even graduated from university, wasting his life. The Chen Wujin in this lifetime was also someone useless. He had been hiding here and there and died from the stab of a sword before he could even get married. I shouted, it's the same Chen Wujin despite being from different worlds. Is this how you treat your loyal player, you rubbish game? This is a fraud. The red-haired lady said, please don't make it sound so bad, my dear spouse. I shouted, where did you come from? She told me, why are you like that? Why are you so aggressive towards me? I shouted back, you're still quite scary even if you're pretty, okay? She said, but I'm your system, so of course I have to follow you all the time. I was confused when I heard that. She further added, yes, I'm the one that brought you into this game. I am the system 4 reincarnated as the villainous young master. I want to be the protagonist. The tormented, villainous young master is reborn from the ashes like a phoenix, and he challenges the 13 sects of the southern Danhai state alone. He then becomes the conqueror of the state. What a hot-blooded, inspirational plotline. I'm so touched that I'm crying. I grabbed her cheeks and said, are all systems so humanoid? She replied, that has nothing to do with you as a hardcore gamer that finished everything the game has to offer. You have to work with the system to develop a new main quest line. I asked, what if I disagree? So why did you choose me? She replied, did you forget how you came into this game? I thought, what is this feeling? happening. She told me you died. Your consciousness was pulled into the game and I chose you. I thought it's the same feeling as when my heart went numb. She further added, if you won't cooperate, I'll judge you as someone useless for the game and your fate. I was very frightened, and she said can only end in death. I shouted, alright fine. I agree. I said, you're so pretty and passionate. How could I reject you? And she was blushing. I thought, don't get so happy so soon, girl. When I know how the rules of this game work, I'll make you obey me eventually. She said then, let us not waste any more time. Let's go. I asked, go where? She replied, your first step to becoming the conqueror of the state. Of course, the contest of waves. In the Bai family, central state, someone was saying the demon, Chen Wujin, has revived. The other person said, I heard that he even killed the disciples from the 13 sects. She further added, Chen had already killed Chen Wujin. How could he still come back to life? Her servant said, my lady, it's true. The news is already widely spread out there. Not only was he revived, but he even killed the disciples from the 13 sections. That Chen Wujin, he must have used some kind of forbidden spell. The other girl was very angry when she heard her servant say, my lady, what should we do? Lord Yi is on his way to join the contest of waves. What if Chen Wujin sets up traps or uses some underhanded tactics to get revenge? She shouted, Xiao Rou, prepare our luggage. We're going to the contest of waves as well. Xiao Rou replied yes. She was Bai Xiaoqing of the Bai family. She said, I will see with my own eyes how Chen Wujin will get himself killed again. I was saying to my parents it's going to be a while as I leave for the contest of waves. To prevent our enemies from finding you, you'll have to hide at the border for the time being. My father said, Wujin, I have given it some deep consideration over the last few days. I was too strict with you in the past, hoping that you could become someone accomplished. Still, there is nothing more important than you standing right in front of us, alive and well now. I thought, Chen Wujin, despite living a life of rejection and dying alone, your dad and mom do love you with all their hearts. Even if it's just for your parents, I will live on your behalf this lifetime. My mom told me, Wujin, no matter what you do, I will support you. It's just that. I shouted, Father, have faith. If I don't work hard, I'll die. If I'm disadvantaged, I'll get bullied. I've known about this since I was little. The Yi Lin sect is a sect that has existed for hundreds of years. I will not allow us to be bullied that easily. Don't worry, Father. I won't make the same mistakes as last time. I'll take back the honor that belongs to the Yi Lin sect in the contest of waves. In the Linyu City agency for the contest of waves. I was vomiting in a carriage and thinking, seriously, I just made such a bold statement too. Why am I still someone who would get motion sickness just like in my previous lifetime? If I had known, I would not have used my spiritual spell to conjure this flying cart. This is all because I'm such a show-off. I was imagining my parents saying a flying cart. This is something only someone at Divine Transformation Realm may use. A man said, you possess great power, young man. Not everyone can conjure a flying cart such as this. As expected of the Chen Wujin who had killed those from the 13 sections, I thought, multiple pupils, this old man is not someone ordinary. I told him, seems like my fight with the 13 sects has made me famous, and asked, are you here for revenge? Then, he replied, what the 13 sects do no longer have anything to do with me, not to mention, I have no intention to fight a boy like you. Go if you wish to register for the contest of waves. Go to the first room to the east. I thanked him and thought luckily he's not here for revenge. Otherwise, it would be quite troublesome since I haven't stabilized my powers yet. We were going inside and he was thinking that young man is quite talented. He will no doubt become a great rival to that boy, Hua Feiwa, in the future. I heard someone saying, Elder, may I ask if Yi Lin Chen has registered for the contest of waves? I thought Yi Lin Chen, he was the original protagonist of this game. It was him who killed Chen Wujin. Who's looking for him? Bai Xiaoqing was saying, right, Fuluin, was it? Thank you. She said, come, Xiao Rou. She replied, okay. Bai Xiaoqing said, let's go look for Chen. I thought it's her memories belonging to Chen Wujin came rushing in. She is saying, brother Wujin. I thought Bai Xiaoqing Chen Wujin's childhood friend. I was saying her in the past, Xiaoqing, this is a bracelet from my mother. By giving it to you, you will be my spouse from now on. I thought they should have ended up together. Bai Xiaoqing told me, yes, I am brother Wujin's spouse. I thought she's really pretty, forget about Chen Wujin. Even I can't hold it. Suddenly the curtain fell down. She was looking towards me and I was blushing. She put some distance between us and readied herself to attack me. She was looking towards me and thinking Chen Wujin is a monster, killing him is an act of benevolence for the people. Bai Xiaoqing, you cannot hold back and don't be scared. I thought, why do I feel like she's going to cry? She's Chen Wujin's fiancé. Now that she sees her fiancé is alive, she must naturally be excited. The system was thinking, does she look like she's excited? What a fool. I was calling her name and I thought, relax. Let's start with a greeting, don't scare her. She jerked up when I said I'm back. She tried to attack me by a whip, but I easily grabbed it. I asked, what do you mean by this? She replied, you demon, why are you? What kind of tricks are you playing this time? I thought she's trying to kill me. I told, you're quite different from the rest. Lady Bai, even if you're not willing to give me a smile after our long separation, you don't have to treat your husband like this the moment you meet him, right? She shouted, despicable, and said, Chen Wujin, ever since you cultivated in the evil arts, our engagement has already been broken. We no longer have any relationship. There's nothing I wouldn't do to eradicate a demon like yourself. I released her whip and said, very well, Lady Bai, I'm right in front of you now. Let me see how you're going to eradicate me. I thought, Chen Wujin, your love for her is despicable. spite. This by Xiaoqing is simply someone ungrateful. I was recording when she was sick and calling my name. I thought when Bai Xiaoqing was sick all those years ago, you cultivated in the evil arts in order to save her. Everyone was cursing Chen Wujin. I thought for her sake, your spiritual foundation was cracked, and your power became impure. Yet, you were willing to as long as you could live with her forever. At that time she was crying and saying, Brother Wujin, it's alright even if you have cultivated in the evil arts. No matter what happens, I will not leave you. I thought, but now after your death, that woman called you a demon. I see. Xiaoqing asked, what are you doing? I thought was everything from the beginning just a fraud. She thought, what is happening? Why is my heart throbbing so quickly? He's a demon. Breaking away from me, she shouted my head. Xiao Rou shouted, my lady, what's wrong? I said, what's going on? I was examining her unconscious body and her servant was shouting, Chen Wujin, let her go. I thought, her pulse. Why is it so unstable? Especially her brain. So many of her meridians have been sealed. Did someone modify her memories? I gave some money to the innkeeper and told 2 high-class rooms. She was banging my back and was saying, let her go. Innkeeper replied, go up the 2nd floor facing the west. I shouted, the more you make a mess, the longer it will take for your mistress to get healed. If you don't care about her condition, so on. Continue and start a commotion. She was left there confused and I walked upstairs. My system said to the waiter, serve me something nice now. Meat, please. Make sure it's something good. Xiao Rou thought that Chen Wujin was in love with her so long ago. If he could, he would even want to take in all the pain on her behalf. But he's so cold now and he's even bringing along such a temptress with him. And she was cursing at me. She entered the room and was blushing when she saw Bai Xiaoqing on the bed with me. I asked, what are you screaming about? Stop making such a big deal out of it. Someone said, Master, you're Jade. This light junior sister must be somewhere close. He was Bai Muyang, the patriarch of the Bai family. Master, maybe junior sister is staying at the inn. Should we go take a look? Bai Muyang told, come, let's go. In the Fulu Inn, Xiao Rou was saying, you animal. The guard said, dear guest, the young lady that you're looking for is in this room. When they entered the room they were blushing and saw Bai Xiaoqing there naked saying, be gentle, I cannot. Blood was coming out of their noses and they shouted, Chen Wujin, let her go. He tried to attack me but I easily stopped his attack. Bai Muyang told them, stop this at once. Guards replied, Master, why did you stop me from killing him? He said, do you not realize it yet? You almost stopped him from healing your junior sister. Bai Muyang thought, Chen Wujin, what did he experience before his death for him to have so much power? A bright light was coming from her neck and she thought, so warm, like hands gently caressing me. She opened her eyes and saw a man bound in chains. When she noticed my bloody face, she suddenly felt lonely. The light from her hands began moving toward me, and she started remembering our childhood. When I gave her the bracelet and said, you will be my spouse from now on, she cried, recalling me trapped between bloody swords. She clutched her head, crying, Brother Wujin, I am Brother Wujin's spouse. Then she started screaming, I'm so sorry, Brother Wujin, for forgetting you. She was calling my name when the old man said, Xiaoqing, wake up. It's me, your grandfather. She was in Xiao Rou's arms and said, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. As she cried bitterly, Xiaoqing slowly opened her eyes and saw some people before her. With a puppy face she shouted, grandfather. He replied, yes. She said, I dreamed about Brother Wujin. She asked, grandfather, what happened to me? Why did I believe that Brother Wujin is a demon? How could I think of him like that? The old man was not able to give her an answer. Suddenly I popped out and said, someone placed a sealing spell on you. You're fine now. I said, Wujin. I replied, yes, it's me. She hugged me and was saying, I'm so sorry. I replied, it's alright. It's not your fault. You were under a spell. Don't cry. I thought I was paying full attention to treating her just now. I didn't realize that she has such a sweet smell, Chen Wujin. Since you can no longer enjoy this happiness, let me do it for you. I told her it's okay. I'm here. Bai Muyang took a long sigh and said, such is fate. The old man called my name and told me to come with him. Xiaoqing asked, grandfather, what do you want to do to him? I told her it's alright. Xiaoqing, grandfather simply wants to speak with me. The old man shouted, I'm not your grandfather. I replied, I am coming. Then, I suddenly noticed energy coming from his hands. In the forest outside of town, I was standing before the old man and was saying, grandfather, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what you want to talk about with me outside of town and in a forest. I thought this old man likes to show his superiority, if it wasn't because he didn't hit Chen Wujin when he was down. Bai Muyang asked me, do you know what kind of place this forest is? This is a forest where bones are buried. The contest of waves is a competition known for its fairness across the world. As I was listening, he further added, however, not everyone is willing to follow its rules. There are always those who prefer to use some underhanded tactics and not fight fair and square. They would then intimidate others before taking their lives in this forest. Gathering the energy into his hands, he said, while I have always looked down on such people, today I have no choice but to act like one for Xiaoqing's sake. Chen Wujin, since you can return to life, let me see if what you possess. He created a large water wave and shouted, I will allow you to stand by Xiaoqing's side. The water was coming towards me, and I thought the Bai family's most powerful skill, the perfectly mirrored ocean. When Chen Wujin and Bai Xiaoqing were dating, he was blasted away by this attack more than once. Unfortunately, I am not that useless villain Chen Wujin. I used reflecting a man like water, cutting a jade like clay. A creepy skull was behind me, and I was saying since it'll be difficult to win in a direct confrontation, I suppose I can cut you apart. I shouted go, and the old man was shocked as our energies collided with each other. The nearby people noticed the red energy in the sky and were shocked. Xiao Rou shouted, my lady, please wait for me. She was breathing heavily and thinking brother Wujin and grandfather had disappeared in an instant. Please, do not let anything happen to them. Bai Muyang thought such powerful spiritual qi, this is beyond my expectation. Is this really that same Chen Wujin? I bowed down and thanked him. I thought he has the same face, but his eyes and composure are not the same. He shouted, Chen Wujin, where did you learn this skill? Suddenly the old man heard someone calling him grandfather. It was none other than Xiaoqing. The guards were blushing as they looked at her. I took off my coat and draped it over Xiaoqing, telling her don't catch a cold. She blushed in response. I wondered, what kind of joke is this? Bai Xiaoqing is my future wife. I won't let anyone take a peek at her. Blushing, she thought, brother Wujin is still so considerate. The old man sighed deeply and said, fine, it looks like the connection between the two of you is yet to be severed. Xiaoqing heard that and shouted, grandfather, brother Wujin is your junior. How can you use something as powerful as the perfectly mirrored ocean against a junior? The old man replied, stop being so unfair. I don't know where brother Wujin learned such powerful techniques, but even I couldn't do anything to him in that short time. I countered, no, it was you who held back. He thought, not bad, at least he did not forget his manners. Then he said, it's fine. While I did not participate in the sect's pursuit of you, I did not stand by you because of Xiaoqing as well. After you died, I was worried that Xiaoqing would fall into depression. That was why I sealed her meridians that governed her emotions using my spiritual power. When Xiaoqing heard that she was shocked and called her grandfather, he replied, to think you had the ability to personally break the seals around her meridians. It is heaven's will, I suppose. Chen Wujin, give me your hand. I replied back, of course. He said, I will now teach you this perfectly mirrored ocean skill as reparation for simply standing by idly at the time. Despite the density of your spiritual qi, it is in such turmoil. Then I got the technique perfect mirror ocean. I was floating in the midair and he was saying, if you practice this skill daily, it will not take long for you to master it. The old man said, as expected of a prodigy, to think that he had the capacity to comprehend it. A woman gently touched my shoulder and said, as expected of the man whom I have my eyes on, and as expected of the top player across all the servers, brother Wujin. I asked, why do you always appear so suddenly? I was scared when I heard Xiaoqing calling me. She was puffing out her cheeks like a cat and glaring at us. Xiaoqing said, I knew it back then, this woman who's been following you around. I was very frightened that, but she added, must be the elite who saved you, right? We were in a stupor when we heard that. Shaking her hand, Xiaoqing said, when I saw you earlier, you always appeared and disappeared when you moved. I understand now. That must be because you have mastered your skill. She thought, no, that's only because I'm the system. Xiao Rou told my lady, you are too naive. What if she's your romantic rival? Xiaoqing replied, that's impossible, because brother Wujin only likes girls like me, who are young. She was very angry and shouted, how dare you call me old? I've checked my ratio 3,000 times and changed my character model 5,000 times, yet you dare to call me old? I was trying to calm her down. Then the old man said, enough, stop messing around and watch yourselves. Haven't you realized that this forest has just received others as guests? He was Yusho sect's Wang Tinglong. He said, it's the master from the Bai family, my apologies. The old man replied, the Esho sect, it is taboo to come to this place right before the contest of waves. It is not appropriate for you to have come here. Laughingly, he said, thank you for that reminder. Still, if someone as upright as you can enter this forest, of course we can as well, right? One of the guards shouted, how dare you try to pick a fight with my master? The old man took a sigh and said, it's fine. I am already the master of a sect. It has already been dozens of years since I won the contest of waves. There is no need for me to take children who have even yet to participate in the contest seriously. When he heard that, he was angry. Then he laughed and said, Master Bai, you really are a master. Unfortunately, when all the other sects wanted to eliminate Chen Wujin from Chuling's sect, you, as the leader amongst us, stood by idly because of your relationship with him, Master Bai. I said, Wan Tinglong, were you the one who exposed my hiding place when I was at Mount Kai? He shouted, who is it? I replied, now that you're part of the just sects, you don't remember me anymore? They were all shocked when they saw me alive. I said, it's me, Wang Tinglong. All those years ago, you were nothing. The Chuling sect took pity on you and took you in as a subordinate. I didn't expect that you would become the Esho sect's eldest senior brother after you sold me off. You really are making something for yourself here. He was very angry then, and nearby man said to him, it's all right, eldest senior brother. I heard that after he was resurrected, he had slain the disciples from most of the major sections. Something strange is going on here. We are going to have a secret meeting with KU sect today. It will not do us any good if things get out of hand. He said, I have important matters to attend to, so I will not argue with you. We will settle this during the contest of waves. Leaving from there, he said, how unlucky for us to encounter a dead man this early in the morning. He suddenly turned around when I shouted stop. He asked what do you want, with a strong aura emanating from me. I said the green bell on your waist. He was confused and a bell was in his hands. I shouted, where did you get it? He thought that kid's eyes. Xiao Qing shouted, Wantinglong. How did you get your hands on Qing Zhao's bells? What did you do to her? He replied, you still can't figure it out. Why not make a guess on what I did to her since I have her beloved bells with me? Different kind of energy were coming out of my hands and they were all scared when they saw the thundering flame technique. I shouted, you've made me angry. Energy around me intensified and I said, since Qing Zhao imagining her picture I thought is a character that I like a lot. One man beside him said, he's not being serious, is he? He replied, I have already reached the nascent soul realm. Is there a need for me to be afraid of a powerless pampered boy? The man beside him said, my goodness, Chen Wujin's spiritual pressure is not only at the nascent soul realm he is. The old man said, not good. If he really harms anyone here, his right to join the contest of waves will be revoked. Xiao Qing, please advise him not to go into conflict with Wang Tinglong. She was confused for a moment, then puffed out her cheeks and said, grandfather, I feel that competitions like the contest of waves are meaningless. So what if you're the champion? You are still bound by the other sects in the name of justice. Only Brother Wu Jin's free and sharp techniques are truly eye-catching. The old man exclaimed about the girl. I thought, well, considering the strong air currents, I hope he can get here and stop this before they start fighting. He said, Chen Wujin, if you want to fight, let's fight. Do not put on a stance just to scare me. He thought I refused to believe that my high-level spiritual runes cannot defend against your attacks. I said, not bad. He used conceptualization instead of characterization to increase his defense. Using conceptualization with spiritual runes of anger, I added unfortunately as a large black snake materialized beside me. I further said, let me teach you a lesson. He was scared when he saw the huge energy wave coming toward him. He was anxious and tried to defend himself. My energy hit his barrier and was about to kill him, but suddenly, a white snake of energy appeared and stopped the attack. We were both confused when it disappeared. Someone remarked, such wondrous skill. The old saying is true, heroes are born of youth. He then asked, who is it? Energy was emanating from him as he said, friend Wu Jin, and was Yi Lin Chen, the 7th elder of the Bitao sect. I said, it's you. He replied, we meet again. Bai Muyang shouted, Yi Lin Chen. The two old men stood facing each other, staring intently. Bai Muyang placed his hand on Hao Lian Shan's shoulder, and then they suddenly started laughing together, leaving us all confused. Brother Hao Lian, Bai Muyang said, we haven't met for about a dozen years. Trying to find you for a drink is harder than taking over a sect. Hao Lian Shan replied, that's your fault, though. You've been staying in the central state and have never ventured out. I asked, your grandfather knows the old man? Xiao Qing replied, I guess grandfather has many friends. Bai Muyang said, regardless, now that we have met, we must drink to our heart's content. He replied, of course. Bai Muyang further added, that being said, Lianshan, you really are pushing yourself. Hao Lianshan asked, what? Bai Muyang replied, otherwise, as the 7th elder of the Bitao sect, why are you not in your halls? Instead, you personally came to handle a fight in a forest. Are you trying to find someone stubborn so you can practice your skills? We were all confused when he said this. He laughed out and said, Elder Bai, you're overestimating me. After fighting for half our lives, I'm tired of it. But since I'm responsible for the contest of waves and heard about a fight in the forest, I came to check it out. I said, report. Xiao Qing asked, what is it? Brother Wu Jin. I explained nothing. I just felt that it was strange. There had been plenty of people fighting before the contest of waves for a long time. An old man was listening. They were either injured and their qualifications stripped, or they were killed and immediately lost the chance to join the contest. I said the more people lose their qualifications, the easier it would be for everyone else in the contest to progress. So, everyone hoped that more would die from this. Meanwhile, the fight between me and Yes Ho sect hadn't even started yet, but someone already reported it to him, so it actually helped stop us from creating an incident. I asked Uncle Hao Lian, who was the one being so righteous? Then I heard someone saying, you've overpraised me, young Master Chen. It was nothing more than a gesture of convenience. Meanwhile, it has been quite some time since we've met. You have become such an outstanding young man. I looked at him and asked, who are you again? He replied, you are truly a busy man. He then introduced himself, I am Zhao Shu Ruo, a disciple from the KU sect strategy hall. Greetings everyone. Bai Muyang said, someone from KU sect? I thought, good, all my enemies are here in one place. Among all the sects that demanded for Chen Wujin to be destroyed, the KU sect was calling out for it the loudest. But this man doesn't look familiar at all. Hao Lian coughed to grab our attention and said, now that everything is settled, go back and prepare yourselves since the contest of waves is going to begin in 2 days. Zhao Shu Ruo said, true, I was simply worried about all of your safety. Now that everything is okay, I will take my leave. Bai Muyan said, since when have those from the KU sect acted so righteously? It's good if it is genuine, but if this is all but an act. He looked back at me and I thought so familiar as if I've met him somewhere before. I asked to the system, does this Zhao Shu Ruo have anything to do with Chen Wujin? Why don't I have an image of him in my memory? She replied, I hate him. How can a man be prettier than a model? I hate him. Think about it yourself. As the system, I'm not revealing any plot. The blonde said, if that is the case, thank you for your aid. The Yes Ho sect is heading back too. I shouted, stop. He asked me, what do you want, Chen Wujin? I said to Hao Lian, Senior Hao Lian, the reason I started a fight with Yesho sect is because a female disciple from my sect named Qing Zhao has been missing for many days. However, the green belt that she keeps on her has appeared on Wang Tinglong. I would like you to take care of this fairly so that he will not threaten me and stop me from focusing on the contest, and he was angry beside me. I further added, please come with me to the Yesho sect's accommodation to find out what happened to Qing Zhao. In the Jixiang Inn, they were walking forward. Hao Lian said, young man, since you have joined the contest of waves, it is not moral of you to imprison disciples from other sections. You should just give her back. He replied, Senior Hao Lian, I've never said that Qing Zhao is with me. They're the ones who said it. You want to pin it on me just because of a bell? Unfortunately for you, I picked it up when I was on my way over here. So, what can you do? Hao Lian told, if that is the case, let us search the inn for a bit for fairness' sake. You will not have any objection, will you? The blonde said, be my guest. But if you cannot find anyone, he pointed his finger towards me and said, I want Chen Wujin to kneel down and call me master. I replied, you sure? I'm afraid you won't be able to enjoy that, though. Hao Lian told, if that's the case, let's go in. I said, Xiaoqing, investigate the rooms to the east. I'll search the west. The blonde thought, go on and search as you like. This inn is an asset that belongs to the sect. Xiaoqing replied, I will. The blonde thought, you would never dream of the place where I've hidden. She was standing there with a knife and growling sounds were coming from her stomach. She thought, I'm so hungry. Suddenly the door started opening and she noticed it. Then a man said, how about it, Lady Qing Zhao? Have you given it some thought? As long as you agree to follow our eldest martial brother, I will let you eat. It smells so nice. He was shivering, holding the knife, and shouted, don't come near me. If you come any closer, I will kill myself immediately. He was very angry and threw the food onto the ground and shouted, you're still so stubborn. You can stay hungry then. Let's see how long can you endure this. A man said to him, senior brother, why are we making it so difficult? It's quite simple for us to force a little girl like that, right? He further told, all we need is some gas. He replied, do you think we've never tried? How long have you been here? She's trained in some medicinal technique, and she's quite skilled. Gas, poisons, all of these things did not work on her. Otherwise, our eldest senior brother would have already gotten his hands on her. There is nothing we can do other than to starve her. Once she's out of stamina, everything will be easy then. Looking at how she is right now, our eldest senior brother should be enjoying himself quite soon. She thought, I cannot surrender to this villain who betrayed young Master Wujin. Xiaoqing asked me, brother Wujin, we have searched the place, but there is no sign of Sis Qing Zhao. I thought, impossible. I can sense Qing Zhao's aura from that bell. The blonde said, I already told you. You've searched it through, right? Chen Wujin, isn't it time to kneel and call me master? He said, you should know what this means, right? About keeping your word after losing your wager? Are you trying to weasel your way out of this one? You will call me master today. He thought, you will suffer much by just having to do this in front of so many people. I replied, if that's the case, I'll do what I have to do. But the Lu Qing bell belongs to the Chuling sect. Even if she's not here, you still have to return it to me, right? He asked, why are you so chatty? Hao Lian told, correct, young man, since the disciple from the Chuling sect has nothing to do with you, at least return the missing item to Wujin. That is the right thing to do. He said, take it. Now, can you call me master now? I thought, it's just as I thought. The closer it gets to Qing Zhao, the more powerful its aura becomes. Qing Zhao is definitely here. He said, are you going to call me master now? Or are you a woman and you simply cannot keep your mouth shut? I replied, Wang Tinglong, a scoundrel like you has no right to look down on women. He was angry when he heard me saying, let me ask you one more time. Did you capture Qing Zhao? Answer me sincerely. There won't be a chance for you to take it back. Using my powers, I further added, fine. You're not going to acknowledge it, then, but it's fine. Originally, I didn't want to spend so much effort. However, I've changed my mind. I will let everyone see just what you truly are. Then I shouted, go. The bell started moving towards his house. System thought, as expected of the top player I chose. The way he used the techniques are perfect. The blonde was walking on the street covering the girl and himself with his energy. He said, come on, my little beauty, drink some water. I do not want to be disappointed when I kiss you later. Xiao Shu Ruo replied, don't come near me. He shouted, know your place. Don't think that I will not do anything to you just because you threatened to kill yourself with a knife. Once you're out of strength, I will teach you what it means to be in complete despair. Then he threw the water onto her and said, getting shy, are we? He was laughing and saying, on our wedding night, I will make you even more embarrassed. He shouted enough and said, please stop it. Some people were gathered there observing the scenario. I said, Wang Tinglong, I told you, you will never be able to enjoy the feeling of me calling you master. I was very angry and further added, return Qing Zhao to me now. The blonde said, go open the secret door, and his subordinate replied, yes. I broke the wall and came inside and said, Xiao Zhao, I'm here. Then I heard someone saying, you're finally out of strength. I shouted, Xiao Zhao. A man was trying to assault her and was saying, I suppose I can enjoy a bit first. Then I punched the man, and he was thrown aside, bleeding, and died on the spot. I was very angry. The other man was very frightened. Then I turned towards Xiao Shu Ruo and picked her up. She was saying in her unconscious state, young master, save me. I said, don't worry, I'm here. The blonde shouted, how dare you attack the disciples from the Yusho sect? Where's your morality? I replied, morality, you think you deserve it. I killed him because he dishonored a disciple from the Chuling sect. He deserves 10,000 deaths and more. I cannot kill any participant before the contest of waves, so I won't do anything to you right now. But once the contest begins, prepare yourself. He was very angry. Sometimes later he shouted, I will kill Chen Wujin. Where's your hall master? Why is he not here yet? Then a voice said, how angry you are, Brother Wan. Is it because my little manner is not cool enough, and it has caused you to get angry? He replied, you KU sect seem to have decided to get out of the way. You enticed me with all sorts of benefits in the beginning, saying that if I told you where Chen Wujin was, you swore that you would kill him immediately. But now, he has been revived. You said you were sure that he was no longer breathing. How did you actually do it? He replied, what can I do? Since the person who killed him then was the great warrior, Yi Lin Chen. If you want to blame someone, blame Yi Lin Chen for being not powerful enough. Still, do not worry about it too much. Our sect leader has a message. Since the SO sect is raised by KU sect, we would not abandon you. Was it not us who stopped the fight in the forest from getting out of hand? The blonde was listening, and he further added, worry not, Brother Wang. Focus on the contest. Leave the rest to the KU sect. We will not let Chen Wujin off that easily. Qing Zhao took a wet cloth and placed it on Zhao Shu's forehead, saying, with the cloth on her forehead, her fever should go down after this. Don't get too worried about it, Brother Wujin. Petting her on the head, I replied, I won't worry with you taking care of Qing Zhao. Someone was shouting downstairs, get out. I'm here for Chen Wujin. I'm warning you, there are powers of demons sealed within my body. Once the seal is broken, the entire world will fall into calamity. I thought that tone could only mean Chen Wujin's nemesis must have made her way here. A guard came and asked me, where did you get to know such a weird girl? She keeps on saying that she was possessed by some demons, and that she possesses the power of 10,000 demons. How ridiculous. I was embarrassed and replied, don't be so ignorant. That's our quilling sect steward. A girl was saying, I'm here looking for Chen Wujin. Do you have any objections? The young lady replied, I am simply asking you to lower your voice. I shouted, Sister Qingxi, it's been a while. She was quilling sect steward. Qingxi said, I knew it. You're alive. As expected of the scion of the quilling sect, you are even more durable than someone with the blood of demon gods. I thought I knew it. She's as childish as she was in the game. I asked, how did you know that I'd be joining the contest of waves? She replied, the sect leader and the madam sent a message to me. I did not expect that such a crisis would befall upon our sect in just half a year after I left the sect for training. I said, it's fine. The crisis is over. She shouted, now is the time for Chu Ling sect to counterattack. I will teach him a lesson he will never forget. Qing Zhao waked up from her sleep and she was saying, young master, where am I? She remembered that when she dropped the knife down and was thinking, no, I cannot hold on anymore. The knife. I'm so tired. Please don't fall asleep. A man was near a corner of the room then. He walked forward towards Qing Zhao and she was screaming, get away from me. She was crying and thinking, no, impossible have I been, and was bitterly crying. I came there shouting Xiao Zhao and asked what's going on. She said, young master. Then she hugged me. I told her there, it's all right now, Xiao Zhao. Everything's fine now that I'm here. She asked me, I'm not dreaming, am I? Xiao Qing said, Sister Qing Zhao is finally awake. Brother Wujin can finally rest well. Qing, she said, I thought she went missing. Then Hao Lian came and said, what are you doing? Where's Wujin? I replied, Senior Hao Lian, is that you? He said, how fortunate you are, my little friend. Among all these pretty ladies, which one is the one you love? I replied, Senior Hao Lian, please don't use me as the subject of your joke. He said, I'm here for serious business. In the contest of waves, each sect is required to send out 3 participants. Which 3 will the quilling sect send out? They all said in unison, I will go. Qing, she said, it is only natural for me, the quilling sect steward, to join. Xiao Qing also said, I want to accompany Brother Wujin. Xiao Zhao too said, young master, please let Qing Zhao do something for you. It was my fault that you have suffered all those tragedies. I asked Wang Tinglong for help. I told Xiao Zhao, don't say something like that. Wang Tinglong was still Chu Ling sect's disciple back then. No one would have been able to foresee his betrayal. It was not your fault, and she was very happy when she heard that. Hao Lian said, all of your lady friends are so compassionate. I'm so envious. Well, you should have a think about it, Wujin. You simply have to give it back to me tomorrow. He was leaving from there saying, so very interesting. I thought, it's fine. What I should do now is to choose those who will join the competition. During the contest of waves, Qing Zhao's medicinal technique will be useful since there's going to be poisons and gases. Qing Zhao called me saying, young master. Xiao Qing saying to his grandpa, let me participate in the contest as quilling sect's representative. The old man replied, since the Bai family will not be participating, just go. I thought Xiao Qing is the game's female protagonist, and her spiritual spell is extremely powerful. I would have to bring her along, naturally. With an evil smile, Qingxi was hinting me to pick her, and I thought, as for Chu Qingxi, she didn't appear much in the game, and she believed that her power of demons had the power to destroy the world. Thus, she never fought using her real power, but Qingxi said, do you want me to be your vanguard because you desire my power of demons? And I thought, she's quite childish, and it's going to be difficult to convince her. I thought, true, Sister Qingxi. I was thinking that you must have improved a lot after your travels. Why don't you show us what you can do so that we can take a good look? She replied, you don't have to praise me like that. I was simply worried that I might terrify you. I replied, no. I'm so terrified. I said to the inn lady, can I borrow your courtyard for a while? She replied, of course. Valued customer, 2 taels of silver for 2 hours. I thought this is daylight robbery. We were standing in the courtyard and I said, Sister Qingxi, don't hold back and attack. I will do my best to take it all. She replied, I'm worried that you cannot handle it. He started charging her attack with Scarlet Blade. Then a rad energy was coming towards me. The 2 girls were thinking such a powerful attack. Also, the system was thinking, my goodness, that name's too childish. I can't take it. Looking towards her, I closed my eyes and her attack missed and they were all shocked. She shouted, stop underestimating me. This is my true finishing strike. Then she attacked me again. Xiao Qing said the spiritual blade that she threw it shows signs of materializing into a real object. Bai Muyang replied, yes, not bad, but it's unfortunate that, while this Chu Qingxi does possess her own unique technique, she has only reached the golden core realm. My barrier was protecting me from her attacks and the old man was explaining them ultimately. There is insufficient power in that strike. I was touching her energy and was saying you won't be joining the contest of waves. When she heard that, she got very anxious. Puffing out her cheeks, she said, I was worried that the power of the demons within me would injure you. I was pulling my punches. Come on, one more time. I'll show you this time. Xiao Qing said, you cannot do that, you have to submit yourself to the result after you have lost the bet. Also Qing Zhao said, true, that's not good. Steward Chu. Qingxi shouted, who said that? Who did? I never said I was betting on it. You did that on purpose. If I lost, I would not be able to join the contest of waves. Is that it? I replied back, don't get so anxious, Sister Qingxi. It's true. I didn't want you to join the contest of waves, but I have something much more important that I need to ask you to do for me. The Quilling sect's fortune and honor are all in your hands now. She asked me. I replied yes and explained, not only does danger exist during the battle on stage, but it also exists off stage. The likes of Yusho's sect might cheat from outside the stage. It's very dangerous for those of us who are taking part in the contest. That's why I need someone steady to watch over us from outside. I shouted, so, Sister Qingxi, I will have to depend on you for this one. You have the power of 10,000 demons within you. I believe that you can suppress all crime and wickedness. I shouted, Sister Qingxi. She replied yes. I slammed my chest and said, we offer up our hearts for Quilling sect. She was blushing when she saw that. She replied yes. The system was thinking, what a bunch of weebs. In the tournament, I was saying to Hao Lian, I've made my decision. This is Quilling sect's name list. He replied, allow me to wish you an early lead and that you will achieve victory. Then, I said, thank you for your kind words. He beat the drum and told everyone, thank you for the long wait. Everyone. The contest of waves. And everyone started cheering. Xiao Qing said, we will be the champions. I was blushing and said, Xiao Qing. Suddenly system appeared and I said, the contest will start soon. You're not on the name list, so stop following me. She replied, don't worry, I'm all powerful. I will always have my eyes on you, no matter when or where. I took a long sigh as the tournament started, and the announcer began explaining, the first round of the contest of waves, survival in the secret realm. All of you prodigies will enter the secret realm through the light mirror in groups of 3. You must survive for 7 days. Xiao Qing said, Brother Wujin, look, and asked, what's that? As I received my token, the announcer began explaining, everyone will have their own jade tablet after they enter the secret realm. If you lose it, you are then disqualified. There are only 2 things that you need to do. Firstly, protect your own jade tablets. Secondly, obtain the jade tablets from the other teams. If you obtain 1 jade tablet, you will receive 1 point. However, if your team loses 1 jade tablet, you will lose 5 points. Now, all the disciples who were participating in the contest, enter the door of light. We were on a piece of land which was floating in the sky, and I told them hang on tight, and they both agreed. You can use any items within the 3 lower realms. But if you were to injure others on purpose, I will perform my duty without bias. As we landed down onto the ground, Qing Zhao said, this island is filled with spiritual qi. Qing Zhao also said, young master, it seems like there are other tests on this island other than fighting with others. I told them, don't worry, of course there are other tests. Nevertheless, with my ability, I can easily lead us all into victory. That Chen Wujin is really quite boastful. Hao Lian Goizan said, my dear second brother, is that the variable you spoke of? Hao Lian replied, naturally there are only a few who came from the state who actually carry weight. He said this Chen Wujin came out of nowhere. He is, without a doubt, a variable. I will wait and see. Then, the people were saying, place your bets. A boy was crying and a big tiger was going to attack and he was screaming for help. Suddenly a man took his token and said none of them can really fight. His other buddy replied, the spiritual beasts from Yusho's sect are the best. Eldest senior brother, we have brought along so many spiritual beasts this time, so it should be enough to deal with Chen Wujin. He said, don't worry, I will send our little golden rock to scout for their whereabouts. Behind him came a big eagle and he further added, no one can escape the little golden rock's eyes. As long as we can discover their whereabouts, we will kill them without mercy. Xiao Qing said, look, brother Wujin, while we were cooking that eagle I said, Xiao Zhao, You can cook so well. Qing Zhao said, young master, we did not break any rules, did we? Xiao Qing also said it's fine. They said not to kill anyone. They never said not to kill any birds. As Qing Zhao listened saying it's fine, the Yusho sect were treating the spiritual beasts as mere livestock anyway. They will get eaten eventually. You snuff out lives just as easily. As expected, you're still that monster from before. A man or a woman was sitting on a tree branch and was saying how fortunate you are, Chen Wujin. As he landed down he said, what kind of monster are you, Chen Wujin? What did you do to resurrect yourself? I thought this is the main character of the game, Yi Lin Chen. Why does he feel different from the game? I was shocked when Xiao Qing said long time no see. Yi Lin Chen asked Xiao Qing, why are you still with him? Did he force you? I thought, how did I forget about it? These two are the male and female protagonists. Qing Zhao asked, young master, are you unwell? I replied, no, it's just that I felt like I might have been cheated on. Yi Lin Chen grabbed her hand and said, come, I'll take you away. Shouted, how dare he? That son of a dash. I'm still here. I was going to attack him and further added, I cannot take this any longer. Suddenly Xiao Qing shouted, Yunlinger, bite her. When I saw that I was confused. The snake was going to attack Yi Lin Chen, but he was able to dodge that attack and said, Xiao Qing, what are you doing? Xiao Qing shouted, Yi Lin Chen, do you think I'm still the same by Xiao Qing you lied to? Then she attacked Yi Lin Chen by growing some vines from the ground. Yi Lin Chen said, Xiao Qing, you're still so rash all the time. Then, as he prepared to use his flute, he added, if that's the case, let me teach you. He then attacked Xiao Qing's snake and further added, this is the price you pay for being rash. In the big mirror everyone was shocked watching this. Bai Muyang shouted, Xiao Qing. Hao Lian stopped him and said, Muyang, you know about the rule that no outsiders can interfere during the contest. Do not get too agitated. He shouted back, Hao Lian, you make it sound so simple. The one fighting is my granddaughter. How can I simply watch and do nothing? Hao Lian replied, as long as she does not give up, you cannot go. Bai Muyang shouted, move. We are running out of time. Then they saw an explosion in the mirror and Bai Muyang was very concerned and shouted, Hao Lian, if anything happens to my granddaughter, you are never going to hear the end of this. The old man appeared there and nothing was visible in the mirror. Suddenly I appeared and said the wildfire burned not all to a cinder, they grew once again when the winds of spring blew. I used my power to extinguish the fire and said, Yi Lin Chen, no matter how you look down on me. I shouted, you shouldn't have attacked my girl in front of me. But he was able to block my attack easily and everyone got shocked. Hao Lian thought something is not right when I killed him. He was not as talented. How has he gained such great talents now? He asked me, who are you? I was confused when I heard that. Then I replied, you're asking such a strange question. I'm the Chen Wujin you almost killed and almost became a cuckold. Xiao Qing said, brother Wujin, well that was the truth. The way you say it makes it sound so hopeless. Yi Lin Chen said, looks like I dwelled on it too much. You are still that detestable bastard. If that's the case, using his powers he further added, give me all the jade tablets you possess. Xiao Qing said, that's the melody the forest's offering. It will cause our souls to crumble. Even the audience was screaming by the melody. Hao Lian said, as expected of Yi Lin Chen, he's very good. I wonder how will Wujin face this attack. Muyang, you should be more patient now and give the young ones a chance. I shouted Xiao Zhao and told use the green belt to form a barrier. Now, she replied, yes, young master. She started using her bell to make a shield around herself. I thought, okay, I can now unleash my power at will. As he was using his musical powers to attack me, I thought Yi Lin Chen just as expected of the main male protagonist. I jumped towards him thinking even if he attacks, he would be worried about Xiao Qing and Xiao Zhao. He didn't use all his power. I came closer to him and thought in terms of viciousness. He is not as vicious as the villain, me. Let me teach you a lesson, you great male protagonist. He said, how naive. You've jumped right into my trap and his powers surrounded me. And he said me, when you came right at me you have already jumped into my trap. His musical powers were grabbing me tight and he was saying, if you twitch even one muscle, the melody of the forest's offering will bind you. I transformed into water then fell down and trapped him. He thought, how is that possible materialization is it? The audience was shocked when they saw that. The old man thought that is the perfectly mirrored ocean that I taught him. Xiao Qing said, brother Wujin, the forest's offering has stopped. Also Qing Zhao exclaimed, young master. I replied, it was just a coincidence. I thought to myself, no, not a coincidence. Looking towards him I thought, I'm a high-ranking player. Who knew Yi Lin Chen was weak against the water element? Suddenly a monster appeared there and it was the doing of the blonde man. Then the big monster attacked Yi Lin Chen. He was injured, coughing out blood. He used his powers and made an explosion in the mouth of the monster. Then he injured fell down onto the ground. The subordinates of the blonde man were cheering for him. He said, fortunately, the little golden eagle used his feathers to pass a message to us, telling us the location of Chen Wujin, and when he goes back, he will feed him well. His subordinate replied, yes, but where's the little golden eagle? I shouted, Wang Tinglong. With a poker face licking the chicken, I said, are you looking for it? They were all crying saying, little golden eagle. He was very angry, then released a monster from his pouch and ordered the monster to attack me. I said, Xiao Qing, the silver snake dances wildly, and thought, yes, the current Xiao Qing should not have cultivated the silver snake dance yet. Xiao Qing was confused and nervous looking towards me, and I thought, however, I am the best at triggering role skills. I told her, I'll teach you. Repeat after me, the plum blossom and snow willow are in full bloom, and the fire is in full bloom. Then she started using her powers and repeated what I said, and made attacks attack with her snake. They were both excited, then the snake landed onto the face of the tiger but easily fell down, and we were all shocked. The snake was beneath the tiger. When the tiger tried to attack us, the snake suddenly grabbed his whole body. The blonde was shocked, and we were all happy. After that, the snake transformed into beautiful lady and tried to attack the tiger, but suddenly she transferred back into her snake form. Xiaoqing said, Yinlinger, thank you for your hard work. I told her the first time it is transformed, you may not be able to grasp it, but the next time you will be fine. The blonde was very angry and said, I will never forgive you. Using his pouch, he released various kinds of monsters on us. All the beasts surrounded us. The audience was shocked and discussing that they had already prepared to kill them. Xiaoqing said, Wujin brother, these beasts at least a few dozen, and they have jade plates on their necks. The blonde thought, in order to bring these fierce beasts in, I could only promise the elders to count them in the jade plates quota, but it's worth killing Chen Wujin. Xiaoqing shouted, this is so much. Great, this jade is still earning a lot of money. Qing Zhao also said, no problem, the young master is here to take down these beasts. No problem. The blonde said, don't put me in your eyes at all of them, tear them apart. I told Xiaoqing, Zhaoer, let me take this opportunity to train you well. They replied, okay. Suddenly someone shouted, you retire, I come. Then an attack flew nearby me, landing over on other monsters. She was saying, sword chi 30,000 miles, a sword of light is cold. From the chests of the monsters a bright light started coming, then they all exploded. She blowed wind and they got all thrown away. I was shocked, thinking, Yi Lin Chen, what about him? Yi Lin Chen shouted, dare to attack me. I thought, why is it a woman? She said, Chen Wei, don't care about me. I'll settle the accounts with you later. I was looking at her when she asked, what are you looking at? She started blushing when she noticed her torn clothes. She began blindly attacking while trying to cover herself and pushing others away. Then, all the tokens fell to the ground. I said, it takes no effort to get it. Yi Lin Chen attacked me, shouting my name, Chen Wujin, and said, even if you pick up more jade cards, you are doomed to lose. Then suddenly the ground started cracking and we were going to fall down. I said, what are you doing? Are you going to use your recluse technique? She replied, what are you talking about? I didn't do it. Someone was saying, hey, what are you doing there while running? They were all running while saying it's a demon wolf. Behind them was a big three-eyed wolf monster. The monster stepped onto a man and started eating others. Two men were shocked and were discussing about his incredible powers. One of them used his power to attack the monster, but the monster was able to dodge that attack. He was shocked. Then they started running from there and the monster was following them. Bai Muyang said, what's going on? How can such a beast hurt people in a tournament? Also, Hao Lian said, it looks at as gods. Well, the beasts in this island were originally sleeping under the ground. Perhaps it was just now that the royal beast sect released a large number of beasts. The beast was trying to eat the two men, and they were running from it. Suddenly, one of them, a green-haired man, stopped the other with his powers. The monster ate him, while the other man kept running. The beast was going to attack us. I used my power and made blocking his attack easily. I said, this demon wolf has 1,000 years of demonic energy. Defense is not a long-term plan. We must find the weaknesses and strike first. Yi Lin Chen was going to attack the beast by her flute, but suddenly her clothes started tearing apart and she was blushing. Suddenly I put my coat on her body and said, if it is not convenient, just stay here with me. How can I let the girl reluctantly? I told them, Zhaoya, Xiaoqing, keep an eye on the protective shield. They replied, all right. I said, I will go back. I jumped across the monster and he started chasing me as I dodged his attacks. I thought, it doesn't seem to be very good at standing up either. Probably because it has been in animal-y form for too many years, it has forgotten the feeling of taking human form. Also good since it is a beast. I used a net and thought, just treat the beast and tame him. As I used the blood curse, the audience was shocked, and the judges were too. The net fell onto the monster. I turned the blood curse into a sword and prepared to attack him. I was going to attack the beast and the beast was looking towards me. I thought the wolf cried, is there any reason left? Let me see your heart. Then his memories were shown of him playing with birds. Suddenly, a demi-human appeared and exclaimed, Mastiff Shadow, I have found my master who needs my protection. Starting tomorrow, I will follow my master and explore the whole land. He replied, really, and said, it's great, I don't know when I will be able to. The other demi-human told him, Mastiff Shadow, don't be discouraged. Our demon wolf clan, we are destined to protect only one master in our life. Fate doesn't come that easily. You have to wait. In that time he was thinking, I have to wait. In the present he was thinking, can I really wait? Then a voice came to his head saying, Mastiff Shadow, you are getting older. According to the rules of the clan, you should leave your nest and go to sleep under the ground. He shouted, I don't accept it. I haven't met a master who can accept me. Why let me leave? The other wolf told him, don't understand the rules. Don't you understand? You are too weak. A demon wolf like you can't do anything. He was falling down as the other one was saying, you should have been eliminated long ago. Cryingly, he thought elimination, that's right, lasted so long, and was remembering his past experience, thinking it's time to end. I said, if you really wanted to end it, you wouldn't have been awakened by the blood of the beast today, would you? My energy stopped him from falling down, and I was using my powers while saying, I want to say that it is weak. It's not big, but this is only because you never met me. He was shocked when I said the real beast tamer. Why would you let people underestimate own spirit beasts? And I was using the power of the ruins. Yi Lin Chen said it turned out to be. Also Xiaoqing said it is a double-layered spiritual word. Looks like Brother Wujin. I really wanted to subdue this wolf. I asked, what is your name? He replied, my name is Aoing. He asked me, who are you? I said, no wonder. In your own mind, you are only this small. He shouted, "What are you looking down on me? Come on. I will beat you up." I replied, "You have been alone for so long. So much so you even want to bite your own master. You are already quite old. Grow up." He exclaimed master and said, "Has the master that I've long awaited finally come?" I started petting his head and said, "Don't waste the proverbs that I've written just for you." Aoing. The monster started shrinking. I said, "This is a good chance. KU sect was going to attack us." Xiao Qing shouted, "How dare you? You ambushed Brother Wujin when he is channeling a spell." Some swords were coming towards me from my backside. She shouted, "Brother Wujin." Then suddenly an attack came, breaking the sword and injuring the other men. Aoing said, "Just with your rubbish did you want to harm my master?" and shouted, "Did you think that I, Aoing, am useless?" Then all the girls jumped on me saying, "As long as you're okay, Brother Wujin." Aoing said, "Master, this is so nice. Can I get very close to the older sisters once I'm with you too?" I replied, "I can, but you can't." Yi Lin Chen thought the master and pet are so alike. Suddenly, she spun around, throwing an object forward while shouting, "What are you doing?" The object struck a hand. It was the previous man, and he said, "It's too late. Thousands of disciples are coming, and their attacks will shred you to pieces. Chen Wujin, you won't win the contest of waves. We'll avenge everyone you've killed." I asked, "Really?" and said, "Are there really tens of thousands? You aren't lying, right? This is great. I can finally have the chance to train my little babies." Xiao Qing and Qing Zhao shouted, "How many little babies do you have?" I replied, "No, not that kind of little babies. I've decided. Come out." I used my powers, and then sometimes tanks appeared there. A man said, "What is it? I've never seen this before." Others scoffed, "Who are you trying to scare with a few lumps of iron?" I replied, "I say that you, the children of the sect, lack cultivation and don't study well in your spare time. Are all the architectural courses of all sects just for sleeping?" This made them all angry. I pressed a red button and said, "Just watch. Build the hard power of madness." The tank started moving forward, attacking others. The man tried to create a shield, but it broke, and he was thrown back. Shocked, he watched as all his men were defeated while I advanced with my tanks. I shouted, "How is it? Arrogant enough? Beware of being destroyed by me, the villain." Qing Zhao then remarked, "He's not like the usual young master." Xiao Qing added, "He's so bad. I love it." I said, "What's the matter, Da Xiayi? Do you want to form a team with us?" Yi Lin Chen replied, "What a joke. Who cares to team up with you?" She then said, "I can do it all by myself." But suddenly, her stomach growled, and she blushed, saying, "Why am I so uncomfortable?" Qing Zhao said, "It's time for dinner. Let's eat first." While others rested, Qing Zhao prepared food, giving the first bowl to Xiao Qing, who exclaimed, "Great! Sister Qing Zhao's cooking skills are getting better and better." Qing Zhao replied, "Thanks to the young master's cooking utensils, which enhance spiritual power and medicinal effects, I was able to prepare such a delicious meal." I responded, "Well said." I said to Yi Lin Chen, "Want to taste it?" as I playfully poked her cheeks with the food. She snatched it from me and said, "I'm sure you wouldn't dare poison yourself." When she tasted it, she exclaimed, "Why is this fried rice so delicious? Haven't I eaten this before?" The rice is so soft and juicy. Leaning in close, I whispered in her ear, "I don't see it. I'm thin and edible." Xiao Qing shouted, "Why did you eat all of it? You're so mean. That's despicable." Qing Zhao held her back and said, "Miss Xiao Qing, forget it. I'll make more." Xiao Qing replied, "Okay, I'll go with you." Then she added, "Sister Qing Zhao, this time, Xiao Qing should add more erasure." I thought to myself, Chen Wujin is really lucky. Meanwhile, Yi Lin Chen was thinking, this Chen Wujin is really strange. But it doesn't matter since he hasn't done anything out of the ordinary yet. The man from earlier got up and thought, "Chen Wujin, you may be proud for now, but wait until I contact the hall master. Your death date is near." A man was near a birdcage, saying, "Eat well, grow taller." He was about to give them some meat when suddenly a shout came from a token. "The situation is not good, master," he further added. "Chen Wujin's son is much better than I thought. Even Wang Tinglong was defeated by him, and my subordinates are incompetent." His master said, "It's okay. From the beginning, I didn't expect you to do anything. I just didn't expect that you would be more wasteful than I thought. After raising these little babies for so long, it's time for them to make their debut." Another disciple asked, "Is this the Xianchuan bird that can cross all boundaries and reach all kinds of mysterious places?" He opened the cage and said, "What's more, they are used for much more than that." As the birds were flying in the sky, he explained, "The more lovable something is, the more deceptive it is." Someone said, "No chance of winning. Why don't we just forfeit?" Another man replied, "You swore that you could take down Chen Wujin, but I think you're bullshitting." The other man responded, "I didn't know that he was so powerful." A red-haired girl then said, "If there is nothing we can do, then there is no need for an alliance." The other man said, "Master, what do you mean by that?" She was Gong Yao, the leader of the Kaifeng sect, and she said, "In any case, there will not be only one winner in this first round, so let's do our own thing." She told her companions, "Let's go," and they replied, "Yes." He tried to stop them, but they left. Another man suggested to him to let them go. One disciple said to Gong Yao, "Hall master, what shall we do next?" She replied, "When the snipe and the clam compete, the fisherman gains. If they both lose out, we'll pick up the jade medal." Her disciple said, "Hall master is wise." Another disciple added, "But isn't this a bit shameful?" Gong Yao replied, "As long as we can win, Who cares about the process? Don't forget how the other sects look down on us. The Kaifeng sect, saying that we only use charm techniques. We're the ones who run the furnace stand. This time, we must succeed in the tournament, so they will never underestimate us again. Then some birds appeared, and they exclaimed, how cute are these birds? Yes, we can't be ignored because we are beautiful. Let these stinky men know how good we are. Suddenly, one of the birds bit her, and she began to feel dizzy. All the birds started attacking them, and all the girls felt hot and dizzy. Suddenly, I woke up from my sleep. Nearby, Xiaoqing was murmuring, don't bully Brother Wujin. I said, Xiaoqing is not angry. No one can hurt me now. She replied in her sleep, Wujin brother, love you. I smiled and thought, my bride is too cute. It's really a blessing to be Chen Wujin. So many girls are thinking of me, and I don't mind. Then, I heard someone calling out, help, who can help me? I went outside and said, strange, I just heard a woman's voice. Suddenly, someone grabbed my leg. It was Gong Yao, pleading, please help me. It's hot. Qing Zhao woke up from her sleep and asked, what's that smell? Xiao Qing added, what a sweet and creamy scent. It smells so pleasant. Qing Zhao then asked, where's the young master? Xiao Qing also said, Brother Wujin. She came outside, shouting my name, and was shocked when she saw me between three girls. Gong Yao said, what's the misunderstanding? Is it like ours? Don't you like to have stinky men? I thought, damn, how can this woman be so strong? Then I noticed, wait, there are tears in her eyes. I started examining her and realized, this is the Xianchuan bird's venom. No wonder, whenever a person is bitten by a Xianchuan bird, the bird's manipulator will use the bird's skills to stimulate them. But no, their meridians are very weak now. If I forcibly use spiritual methods to break free, they definitely won't be able to bear it. I looked at Qing Zhao and Xiao Qing, and they were angry. I said, I can't help it. My damn charm. What do you think? Should I take them all in? Reluctantly, they shouted. Chen Wujin. Xiao Qing said, you were thinking about taking a concubine before we even got married. Is it because I've been too gentle with you in the past? Qing Zhao added, yes, and if you want to take a concubine, Zhaoi should be the first. I'm sorry. She grabbed Qing Zhao and threw her toward me. She hit me, knocking me aside. She asked, Master, are you okay? I replied, it's okay, you'll be fine. Xiao Qing. Are you alright? Yi Lin Chen thought, this Xiaoqing. I don't seem to know her well enough. Gong Yao blushed and said, you women. I thought, sure enough, Xiaoqing is a girl after all. The force won't really hurt their meridians. Then Gong Yao shouted, don't get in the way. Suddenly, some energy started emanating from her body, and she screamed. She was crying and looking forward. Yi Lin Chen and Xiaoqing also both got dizzy. Qing Zhao cried out, Xiaoqing, Sister Yi, what happened to you guys? I grabbed Qing Zhao's hand and moved closer, thinking, this technique has reached its limit, and I can't stand anymore. The system said, it's getting hot in your body. To try to figure out what to do, I moved closer to Qing Zhao and said, Zhaoer, you have a natural body that isn't invaded by 100 poisons. She replied, well, as long as I can help the young master, I'm not afraid. Then, I bit her neck, and she started blushing. I thought, as expected, Qing Zhao's blood grants poison immunity. She said, young master, I can still. I replied, it's fine, Qing Zhao, rest for a bit. I'll need your help later. Gong Yao shouted, how dare you warm up to other women right in front of me? I will kill you with my temptress's wiles. Then she started attacking me and pulling my cheeks. I used my powers and gently hit her forehead. She started remembering her mother, their good moments together, and then suddenly, an old man came and said, we can no longer delay this, my disciple. Give that child to me. She pleaded, Master, can we wait a little longer? Yao is still too little. He retorted, you have turned your back on your sect and mixed with a fiend. Then he ordered his men to take the child. They took him away, and a man was slapped, shouting at her with his friends. They were going to assault her, and she thought, is this my fate? The man approached her and sneered, you are just a man's plaything in this place. With blood-red eyes, she thought, fine, if you want to play, I'll play. The three men grabbed me and threw me to the ground, assaulting me. She stood up and killed them. She thought, I will bet my life. In the end, she was shouting, I killed them all. I thought, and so that's why. She awakened to such unspeakable powers because she has been tormented all this while. She tried to attack me, but I stopped her and said, from the winds, the guest on the camel came, Xiao Ri Hong Ba. Hey oh hey. When she heard that, she started crying and called out, Mother. I hugged her as she cried in my arms. Then I shouted, Qing Zhao, now. She started using her powers, trying to heal them all, and I was also trying to heal Gong Yao. She spread her energy and then used her power to restore everyone. She got exhausted, and I asked, are you alright, Qing Zhao? She replied, I'm fine. The mystic river bird's poison is quite strong, and I still need some time to negate it. Yi Lin Chen and Xiaoqing also recovered from the dizziness. Xiaoqing shouted, what are you going to do again? Don't come near us. I said, it's fine, Xiaoqing. Gong Yao said, thank you for this. She told me, I can't possibly take you as my enemy after you've saved everyone in my sect. The Xunfeng sect will withdraw from this contest to repay you for what you did for us, she declared. When they tried to object, she added, I have already decided. No more words. I said, this suits you, I guess. I started searching through my space pocket and then exclaimed, no, I'm so sorry. I don't normally make clothes, so it seems like I don't have anything suitable. She shouted, "What are you doing?" He handed me a dress, and I said, "It is great." Xiao Qing snatched it and shouted, "Never. Only I can wear this kind of clothing for Brother Wujin to look at." Qing Zhao added, "But it seems like it would be more suitable for me to wear that kind of clothing." Gong Yao asked, "What are you doing?" I replied, "Simple. I will give you all a chance. Join us. I can guarantee that together with the Tsuling sect, Xunfeng sect is going to become one of the top 3. She asked, "Why are you helping me?" I replied, "How should I put this? I would be lying if I said I admired your bravery to fight to the last or your indomitable pride." Then I shouted, "Compared to all those men, I would rather help beautiful women like you instead." She got embarrassed when she heard that.